Okay, I'm live right now. So hopefully some people will pop up. Hopefully Lucian and maybe some new people who wanted to see the Pataki about the tongue and the importance of this in our tradition. Okay, let's go wait for a couple more people. Let's see. So I'm just gonna wait, or maybe I'll just start saying the Pataki. Already good, like 3 minutes maybe until I go up on my memory that I know about this very important story. It's Pataki. Awesome. Whoever just came on, I'm entirely sure. I'm assuming it's Lucian. Hey. Okay, so I'm gonna start now. I was waiting for somebody to. Yeah, I know it's you. Okay, so I'm gonna tell this story. It's not very long because I tried looking for more information online on the specifics of the story, but from what I recall of this story, it's about how the ton can save or destroy a village, or the ton can save or destroy the town, basically, is the interpretation of this whole entire story. So it's basically talking about, like, like the ton may have no bones or nothing really, but it can bless a person, it can like curse a person. But anyways, back to the story now. So Olodumare is basically the one that is the light that came out of the void, and the void was Eshu. Just to make it into a short little analogy here, and a lot of things happened with the world and the universe, everything like that, to the point that it got to this story with the Orishas being created and everything. And basically, um, Olodumare summoned the Orishas and wanted to know about what was the best food and what was the worst food, right? So here come the Orishas bringing different foods and everything. I think Elegua ended up bringing, first it was the best and it was the worst, right? So I think all the Orishas brought something a little bit different. And then, I was going to say, Elegua brought some kind of ton stew or something like that. So Olodumare was like, the ton. It's like, why do you need the ton? And then he tried the ton stew or whatever meal was made with the ton, and he said that this is the best dish. And then he told everybody, I think, to bring like the worst dish, and they had to use the ton. So I'm not sure what all the other Orishas brought. There was even like the ton as well, or they brought something different. But then Eligor comes again and brings the ton as a worst dish. And Olodumare is like, wow. He said, this is actually the worst dish ever. And he's like, but this is also ton. And then Eligua basically says that it's like that the ton can be used for both polarities, for um, bring in good things, blessings, sweet things, and it can also be used to curse a person. And that the tidbit of the philosophy and the story behind all of this is that of the time you can save or destroy a village or you can save or destroy a town, right? So in this story is where we basically come with the working where it talks about binding people's words and speech when they try to harm us with witchcraft and gossip and everything like that. So that's where it comes customary to, take a cow's tongue and you strip naked and you basically just pass the tongue from head to toe on your naked body, praying and staying with intent that everyone's tongues who have said bad things against said person and whatnot, that be returned to sender, that their mouths and tongue will blister and et cetera, right? And let it send down a person will probably take a bath or a shower, put their clothes back on, and basically from there they will slit the tongue horizontally, uh, and then basically take a brown parchment paper, write each enemy's name down they think is talking crap about them, and then write down to my enemies known and unknown. And then they would put a lot of things on top of that brown parchment paper inside the tongue that's being cut off a slit, like hot chili peppers, anything spicy. You can put sulfur, black salt, etc. Right? Get creative, and you can put like rusty nails, pins, whatever. And depending which Orisha you would bring this to, if you brought it to the woods or the train tracks specifically, or it was marked somewhere. If it was like Ogun, you would like use green and black threading or ribbon, whatever, and you would make it as tight as you can doing that, and you would leave it there with probably an offering of like rum and tobacco, and just speak to Ogun from the heart if you let that nailed to a tree in the woods or at the train tracks, preferably where they split, and tell Ogun what is going on. So that's basically a little mini story about what goes on with the importance of the tongue, right? Like, people can say things like, I'm blessing you, I'm praying for you, but at the same time, they can be praying for your downfall. You know what I'm saying? Like, the tongue is very much a polar opposite type of thing that just basically, good things can come from it, bad things can come from it. And usually, Obara does talk about wealth, it talks about royalty, it talks about gossip as well, right? So it's a very complicated Odoo in some ways, but yet very straight and simple to the point that it's like, people are talking about you. You're gonna have a lot of business, all those things, right? It also talks to you about like enlightenment is I don't know if the word was transient or the words were misleading, but sometimes in our own enlightenment, we feel we know everything, and there's yet more to learn, right? When it comes to Obara, it also talks about community and a lot of things too. An Odu is when the shells are speaking or when a person casts the Ikings or the Opale. It's basically like the oracle is speaking of a number, and an Obara is six in the shells, right? There's a different number format with the Equile and the Kings and everything. There's a little bit of a different order. And so let's say like when you get like Hand of Ifa, you might have like Obara Osa, right? So that's like information, so like Chango, Oshun, Oya. There may be other rishis that speak in those signs too, but those are the predominant ones I know about that speak in those signs. So it's all like a divination with numbers and information. Like we're talking here like phone book amount of information off each um, each letter, and a letter is like two Odu, or you could be saying like an Odu itself, which is one number. There's a lot of information. There's 256 Odus. So there's a lot of information to learn because not only do you have like the polarity of the positive stuff, which is blessing of Ire, there's a negative of Sogbo, which is the spirits of misfortune that speak about you being not in alignment or not in balance of your destiny, basically. Usually Odu can represent several Orisha, basically. It's not only one. It just means that several Orisha have a more predominance to a certain number. Like three is Ogunda, if I remember correctly. And Ogunda, I believe Ogun speaks in very clearly, and I'm sure Elegua probably speaks in Ogunda too. Elegua pretty much speaks in like every single sign, obviously. And it is very fascinating. Like once you get into it, like it's like when you feel yourself being read with these oracles, you're gonna feel a sensation you've never felt before being read of any other kind of divination system. It's like it knows all your deepest, darkest secrets of getting rid of these oracles, basically. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's definitely different because with a tarot reading, you would read somebody and be like, boom, 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 boom. This is your solution. Do it yourself kind of deal. Or if you want to incorporate, like, oh, I'm reading cards, there's a solution. You can do this spell, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not really traditional to the tarot. With the Odus, there's always a solution to a person's problem. You know what I'm saying? And that will basically cost, of course, money, as everything does, because of materials, person's training, their energy, all that kind of stuff. And you never know what the price point number is going to be, basically, when it comes to that. So it can start from something very simple, like two coconuts, no, one coconut cracked open could be an example, and you break it in half, and you have two halves of a coconut, and you take out the liquid out of the coconut, and one you put palm oil in, and the other one you put honey in, and then you put two candles to that. Let's say you do that for 4 days in front of an Orisha, for example. That's called Obi Omi Tutu with Itana Mei. The Itana Mei being the candles, which are a double, you know. Yeah, Odus are very mysterious. Like there's some that are so mysterious and like everybody has different interpretation for them and a different style of understanding what they mean. Oh, I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just saying like if you were this is an example of an ebo being a solution, right? I'm just telling you like an example of like a cheap, simple one you could do would be like break a coconut in half. One half of the coconut you put palm oil, the other half you put in honey in the coconut halves. You know, one separate of honey, one separate with palm oil. You put it on a white plate. You put two white candles, and you do the two white candles each day for 4 days. For example, could be a simple solution you have to do to bring you like health or something. You know what I'm saying? Like there are simplistic things that can be done as simple as that, you know, or more complicated things like the sacrifices, a special bath you have to have and buy certain plants, all these kind of things, you know. So yeah. Hello. So yeah. Um, so hey, somewhere in time, Tarot. It's a pleasure to meet you, One Evolution's friends and subscribers, I believe. Um, I was talking about the different things going on with what we call EBO for solutions when it comes to um, divination, oracle stuff that happens within Lukumi Santeria. But before all that, I was talking with a very small story that was probably like 7 minutes long or not even, but I was going to the theoreticals and the practicality of why a ton or someone's ton can be a blessing and a curse, right? So everything in Santeria as is an oral tradition, right? There's very little few things written about stories and books on things, but every story is supposed to help you understand why you are in a situation that you're in and what you can do to change your character, your personality, your actions to be more in balance. And yeah, aw, thank you. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna let that go now for this live. I didn't want to make it too long, which I guess it might a little bit longer, but it's fun to explain things and stuff. But this is going to be recorded, so you'll be able to go look from the beginning about what I was talking, evolution, everything. So I really appreciate everything, all of you guys, and if you guys can keep sharing this recorded live when it's done, that'd be really, really awesome. Thank you, Lucian. I've tried to say as much as I could. I still have a lot more studying I have to do and learn and everything. But I think my knowledge is something like Pedrino Juan has so much knowledge, and it's like he even says he's only seven. I think he's 8 years now. He just turned seven as a priest of Ifa, but he's been in this tradition since he was like a baby. So it's like so much stuff. Oh wait, what? I did something weird. Sorry. I don't know what I just did. That was weird. I try to hit like or something, and I hit like hide. Oh, that was weird. I don't know if you guys can see that now. Aw, thank you. Yeah, Juan's amazing. But I mean, other people who are his god show when the time comes to get your hand of Ifa. So it's very, very exciting. Um, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go off this now. It's always awesome to teach. And I'm probably gonna do other stories too, which will be like the one of the most amazing stories of our tradition. I think I'll probably do next is about when Oshun saved the world and humanity and became the vulture, which is Ibu Kole. Aw, thank you. Yeah, we rent a basement suite out of a duplex, and it's very, very nice. But eventually we have to move because apparently our spirits don't like where we live. I don't know, very strange. I was like, y'all don't like this. And we've been here for like a year almost. Well, we've been here for a year and we signed a 6 month lease. So it's crazy. You have to move, 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 move. But it is what it is. And it was, again, a pleasure explain everything to you guys. And I'm just going to go off right now. So thank you. And you'll be able to check everything out. If you have any questions, you can totally comment. Um, thank you. I hope you stay safe and healthy too, both of you guys. Thank you. All right. Bye.